Hey folks, Ted here today with Exped. I want to show you some of the final details on the Exped Ergo Hammock. Hopefully before the night comes, I want to crawl into my bug haven because there's a few bugs out here. We'll give you a last impression as to what's going on with the Ergo Hammock. We showed you the setup of the hammock and the fantastic huge fly we've got on right here, but I just want to kind of hit a few more details before I actually crawl in and show you the really special things about the Ergo. It's designed so that in heavy weather, you've got plenty of coverage with the rain fly, but it's also designed so that if any water is hitting the tree, running down the cords, it's obviously coming right down here and guttering off before it gets into the internal hammock where I'm suspended right here. Furthermore, any rain that happens to migrate past the carabiner hits this drip ring and drops off. So you're really going to be dry and secure in the wet conditions. Now, what makes the Ergo a patented setup is the way that it actually suspends you. It hangs you flat. And it's designed much like a suspension bridge. And you'll see that really dramatic when I open this up and when I slide a mat in there so you can see what's going on. Now, one of the drawbacks of most hammocks is that when you get into it, you compress all your insulation of your sleeping bag down to the bottom. So a lot of people have workarounds like putting a mat on the inside. And that's a great way to do it, but oftentimes then you wrestle with the hammock, with the mat on the inside of the hammock. So what we've done at the foot section and also at the head section, so you can slide it in on either side, is to take one of our, we basically have a sleeve on the bottom that you can either shove gear into, use it as a storage space, or my preference is to actually go ahead and use one of our mats. In this case, it'll be one of the down mats. Thanks, Brendan. I'm just going to slide that into the pocket, and it does two things. It maximizes my insulation on the bottom of the hammock, like so, and I'll just go ahead and zip this shut so that I don't have to worry about compressing all the insulation out of the bottom of my sleeping bag. I'm just going to zip this around like so. And it also gives me a little bit of structure to kind of just lay the whole thing out. Now here's where you can start to see that sort of suspension bridge kind of cordage. The Dyneema cords are set up right there, and each one is a different length designed to go ahead and suspend me appropriately. And you'll notice that I'm not sleeping head to toe along the axis of the ridge line. I'm actually sleeping slightly diagonal, and this really works well. For me, there's no banana shape here. It's basically just a nice flat suspension. So I'm going to unzip the bug shelter, and in fact I can unzip this entire bug shelter because the zipper runs clear on the entire perimeter and stuffs into its own little keeper sack right here. But right now it's pretty buggy, so I'm going to leave it relatively closed. Oh, I don't like to leave all this stuff lying around. I like to actually keep it stowed, so when I usually use the pocket here, just jam all the stuff in here. Sleeping bag, stuff sacks, etc. all go into the inside. Now when you enter into this particular hammock, if there's a landing zone, it's right here. If I sit on this particular side, you'll see that I dump the whole contents out. So when I sit into this, I'm going to go ahead and sit sort of on the diagonal. The entry point is right here, right between the first cord and the corner of the mat. By sitting down here and just suspending it like so, I can go ahead, just hang out here. I can do my cooking if I want to underneath the coverage of tarp really easily. Grab my pack or underneath the stuff that I've got here, and in this case I'm going to use it to kick off my shoes, get off of the mesh, and snug right on in. Now when I'm laying in here, you can actually see that I'm laying down in nearly a flat position. I don't know how much you can actually see through here, but there's enough bugs on the outside that I'm keeping you on the outside and I'm snug and secure on the inside. I can lay totally flat this direction or nearly flat, totally insulated on the bottom. And more importantly, since I'm actually a side sleeper, and I think the number is actually roughly 70% of folks out there are side sleepers, this makes an incredibly comfortable side sleeping shape. And because the mat is captured and because I'm suspended properly, in the middle of the night, I don't have to worry about snapping out of that relatively flat position. I can go ahead and just very simply turn around just like I was sleeping on a mat on the inside of a tent. It's very, very comfortable and easy to work with. Now, just a few other details before I actually get back out, just to show you what some of the features are on the inside of the... If I open up the mesh canopy, it slides all the way back like so. And you'll notice that on the inside, I've got pocketing here, I've got pocketing right here, and I've got some clip toggles on the inside that I could hang a headlamp or anything else so I can see what's going on at night. Makes for a comfortable position right here. It's a nice shelter. I think I'm spending the night. Thanks.